Just a little joke there. But no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. You know, one other thought about side sleepers. I know you said that's how most people sleep on the side. Is it more left side or right side or a combination, or if you're right-handed, right, or what?
I guess it depends on who's in bed with you.
Okay.
Usually, everyone gets the side of the bed, and yeah, it doesn't matter. It's most.
So depending on which side that you're going to face away from the person?
I guess it depends how much you like them.
I guess so, right?
If you want to see them or if you want to see the wall, right? See them, or if, as Brent said, or if you want to see the wall, right? So you either want to see your bedmate or you want to see the wall. Oh, gosh. We're getting a couple more questions. And the first one is, do you need to flip a pillow top mattress? And that was one I was wondering about, too. So thank you for whoever sent this in. I appreciate it. Do you need to flip a pillow top mattress? No? And the answer is no, right? The answer is no.
Okay.
And, you know, to put it simply, do you flip your house? No. You start from the bottom and you work your way up.
That's
so you build a foundation, then you build the walls.
Right.
It's the same idea. When you used to flip the mattress, all you were doing was taking that mattress and shoving it into the box spring for 6 months. 6 months later, you'd flip it back over and say, how come it doesn't feel the same?
Right.
Well, you just... So now they're putting these memory foam materials, the latex.
Yes.
They're putting it all on one side. They're concentrating it.
Right.
So instead of having a ½ an inch on each side, you're getting 2 inches on the top where you sleep. You only sleep on one side. So.
Right, which is nice that you don't have to flip a mattress because, I mean, for years, you know, I can remember growing up as a kid, you know, my parents, oh, you got to flip the mattress, you know, every... I don't know how often it was now, but you have to flip the mattress. It was this big ordeal to have to flip the mattress, so you don't have to flip. Go ahead.
You can rotate it, you know.
Okay.
So you can change the position where you're sleeping from the head to the foot.
That makes sense.
And that's much easier to do.
Right.
But, you know, when you used to flip them, too, they always say change it every 6 months.
Right.
So the clocks would change, and now you got all these chores.
That's right.
You got to change the smoke alarm. You got to flip the mattress.
The mattress, the smoke detector, the clock.
Right.
You're right.
So take that one off the list.
That's one that can come off the list.
Absolutely.
I like it. That's very good. Wow. Although when you related it to houses, all I could think of was that television show, Flip This House.
Yeah,
right? So I know that has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but it just made me laugh. I haven't seen a show Flip This Mattress, that's for sure. But no, good answer.
What are you doing after the show?
That, right? We're getting a question here from Steve and Lisa. And that is, how often should you buy a new mattress? And they're wondering, every 3 years, every 5 years, every 10 years? I don't know, maybe every 20 years? How often should you buy? It's from Steve and Lisa. Thank you.
Lisa, Steve, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's like a spouse. If they're treating you good, keep them.
Okay.
If they're giving you trouble, trade them in. But if the mattress, if you're finding support and comfort on the mattress, keep it until you don't.
Okay, so there is no set time.
There is no set time.
Okay.
You'll find on average about, nowadays with the newer mattresses, 15 to 20 years are the warranties, which are a pretty good expectancy of the lifetime.
Well, I was just going to ask that, right, even though there may be warranty for 20 years, is that pretty much what you can expect?
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
wow.
But if there's nothing wrong with it.
Wow, and I'm assuming if the mattress is a little bit better quality, it's going to last a little bit longer too, right?
The main things that the springs will wear out, and when they didn't put memory foam in them, they didn't have the resiliency to bounce back and keep their shape. That's the other thing memory foam does, is it helps the mattress. Everyone's worried about, you know, the dips or the sags.
Yes.
It's like shoes. A little bit is normal. It's a body impression. It's where you sleep every night.
Right.
But if you have a divot, that's not good. You're going to roll into that.
Right. So that's not good.
Right.
But going back to Steve and Lisa's question there about 3 or 5 years, that's probably not the case.
On a quality mattress at $5.99 and above, you should get 5 years.
At least 5, at least 5, and probably more than that. So every 3 years is probably too frequent. Yeah.
You do get what you pay for it. You know, if you spend the less, it's probably going to last 3 to 5.
Sure.
Sometimes with kids' beds, people come in for kids. You know, that's reasonable.
Well, I wanted to ask you a little bit about what are sleep problems, and what are some common types of sleep problems that people experience, and obviously that they should take that into consideration when they buy a mattress, right? But go ahead.
The two most common are the tossing and turning, and the waking up stiff and sore.
Okay.
So if you wake up stiff and sore, it's hard to get going, and extra cup of coffee to kind of work the kinks out.
Right.
You're not getting a good night's sleep. You're not getting, that's a support issue.
Sure.
If you toss and turn, that's more of a comfort issue. Your body's having a hard time getting where it needs to be.
Sure. Now, going back to side sleepers, I'm just curious. If you sleep on your side, do you tend to sleep more on just one side, or do you tend to go back and forth all night long?
Ideally,
you don't know. But
ideally, you don't want to. You want to fall asleep and you want to stay there.
Right.
So if you're doing the flipping,
okay,
you're either not comfortable. It's not comfortable enough, and it's starting to cut off circulation to your shoulder.
Okay.
And your body's saying, "Hey, flip me.
Right.
I need some relief."
Sure. So, and we've all been awakened by that sensation of numbness or whatever, where we weren't. You wake up and you can't feel anything, and then hopefully it disappears for most people, right? Another thing I was wondering about with the memory foam. I know a lot of people have said that they're hot. You know, is there any truth to that? Is that something to be concerned about?
There's a little truth to it. Foam is an insulator. It's going to retain some of your heat. It's normal. It's natural. It's part of the way the memory foam works. It works by body heat and by your weight.
Okay.
So when the heat goes into the mattress, it opens up the cells, and that's what gives you the conformity to you. Okay. So you do need the heat for it to work.
Right.
If you're a hot person, it's probably going to retain a little more heat.
Sure.
It is an insulator, just like any foam.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And some people their hands are always really hot. And, and other people, they're just cold-blooded, I guess, and their hands are always cold.
It will depend on the individual. It's the #1 concern with those memory foam mattresses that Tempur-Pedic and Insert both use an open cell structure to allow the cells to breathe. Okay. So even though you need the heat, it pulls the heat away from you.
It does pull it away. So a concern, but not significant enough to say, gosh, I'm not even going to consider a memory foam mattress.
And like I said before, most beds now do have memory foam in it, so you're not really going to get away from it.
Right.
You know, it's in there. And
sure. How effective are those memory foam toppers? If you have a fairly good mattress and you want to try out memory foam, are those toppers any?
They're not going to make a significant difference because underneath it in your support is the same. If you're just having a comfort difference from your partner in bed, it might help. Right. But it's not going to affect the support and the structure of the bed and what's underneath it.
Right. Huh. Very interesting. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up. I have a couple more questions, and I just want to remind our viewers, if you have questions, we're talking to Brent Raymond, sleep specialist from the Old Brick in Schenectady. Any questions or comments regarding mattresses? That's what this is about today, mattresses, and we've gotten some great questions. Thank you, everyone. But now's the time to send them. Email chat@cbs6albany.com or the CBS 6 Facebook page if you're on Facebook, or if you're on Twitter, tweet us a question.
Yeah, did we get a tweet yet?
We haven't gotten a tweet. So anyway.
I thought today was the day.
Nah, it hasn't happened yet, but you never know. There will be a day. One of my last questions is there such a thing as a reconditioned mattress? I've told that there are some stores that sell reconditioned, where they're old mattresses that are completely stripped down, I guess, and rebuilt. Is that true?
We don't sell any of those. Okay. I'm sure they're out there. Okay. I wouldn't recommend
You don't recommend them, okay.
A great concern now is bed bugs.
Yes, yes.
So, and that's, people ask about trial periods with the bed. That's one of the major things with the trial. Any store that's offering you a trial period, be careful. It might have been out for a trial.
Oh, exactly. Yes, that's something to keep in mind.
Right now, Tempur-Pedic offers a trial where they'll take it and they'll dispose of it. And, Serta does as well with their iComfort beds. Okay. And those, we'll take them back and they get disposed of. Sure. They're not resold. Sure. So I wouldn't buy a resale.
Okay. Right. So, good question. But the bed bugs, that's still a major concern. That really hasn't gone away. No. You know, we heard a lot about it for a while, and I personally haven't heard much lately. But it's still a concern, right? Right. Yeah, and I guess in all areas of the country, and not just.
It got a lot of attention around here, in New York City especially.
Well, New York City, I know, got a lot of attention, and I guess here in our area too. So, but wow, all right. See, if I'm just looking at my list here of my questions, I think you've answered them all. All right. I did want to ask about people that the bed is too thick and they can't get into bed now. Is there anything that you can offer for folks that might have that kind of a situation?
Sure. They offer low-profile box springs now.
Okay.
The mattresses do get thicker, so it's a way to kind of lower the height of the mattress.
Right. So it's not as hard to get into into bed,
right.
in and out of bed, right?
Linen manufacturers have adjusted to a deeper pocket, so never let that get in the way of a good night's sleep, but they have done their best to take away that objection.
Sure.
So.
And just one last question.
Sure.
I know twin, I think, is twin, right?
Yep.
And queen is queen.
Yep.
But when you get into king, I hear that there's a regular king, there's a California king,
right.
and I heard recently there's an Eastern king.
An Eastern
is that
king.
true? Or?
Well, there is a California king, yeah. A little narrower, a little longer.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, what is the difference?
Yeah,
so the California is a little longer but narrower.
Right.
And the traditional king, I guess, is just a traditional
right.
king, right? Had you ever heard of Eastern king?
I haven't heard of an Eastern king.
Eastern king.
I'm sure there
could be.
There could be. You used to hear of a 3/4.
I haven't heard of that.
Okay, there's a 3/4 that's years old. They don't make those for the most part anymore.
Okay.
So
and queen is queen.
Queen is queen.
Right.
Yep. The queen is going to be 80 inches long, 60 inches across.
Wow.
So.
And you know, just one last question. I do have to ask you this. When it comes to pull-out couches, I understand that some of the newer ones now are air.
They do have air. Sure.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Are those considerably more comfortable than what I slept on as a kid? Because I can remember sleeping on the old pull-out couch.
Depends how long you want your guest to stay.
Okay.
They are a little more comfortable.
Good
you
answer.
don't feel the bar.
Good answer. Right. You don't feel that bar. That's what bothers
the bar.
me.
Yep.
Right. The bar. That's right.
So that does help.
Oh gosh.
So.
Oh my gosh! You're bringing back too many memories here. All right. Well, Brent, I can't thank you enough for coming down today and for being my guest and for all of this great information. And thank you to everyone who logged on today for your terrific questions. And we'll have more posted on the Facebook page and on the CBS 6 website. And I hope you have a great week. And I will see you right here next Monday, same time, same place. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.